Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is...
Luke Smith, and we're here to watch me win Cry Havoc.
Spoiler alert.
Just being honest here.
Yes, that's probably what we're going to watch. But you know what? I got some great suggestions.
You did?
I did. Rise John's Music wrote, here's what you should do for your turn. Give up. Joseph Ellis wrote, wow, still doomed. Bloody Fox wrote, Rodney Smith, starring in Watch Me Flayed.
There's so many good suggestions.
Yeah, I'm sure you agree with them.
Yeah.
The Grim Destiny. Good luck, Rodney. You'll need it. And Stasia Doster wrote, just curious, does the game come with a white flag for Rodney to wave? Thanks, everyone.
It should.
Grant Rodiak, though, the designer of the game, wrote, I believe. Hashtag Rodney. Grant. Oh, Grant, you've put your faith.
He believed in you.
If you believe I'm going to lose, then you're right. Okay. The goal of this round for me is just to try to get almost as many points as Luke will get this turn, which will not allow me to catch up, but it'll make me feel like I've
done something good.
Yeah, saved face a little bit here. So I think I would, if I could play this over again with you, and we will be playing this over again, just not maybe on screen, I would change how I'm using these pilgrims. Yeah. I would maybe try to play to their strengths a little more than I did. But my aerification here is going to give me some suggestions here, but what I should actually do for this turn, and it might help. The main thing my aerification wants me to do is to try to lock down these two regions where Luke has all of his units. He has none in reserve right now. I will say in his original suggestion, he wanted me to play 6 movement, but I think I'm only going to play 5. 2 of that movement will send these pilgrims into this region here, and the other 3 will move these ones here. Aerification had wanted me to use 1 additional movement to instead send this unit here and then into this region. And that would have fully locked down all of Luke's figures here. But to do that, I'd have to spend an extra card, and I'm not sure that's really accomplishing much more. Although this means one of his figures could move, and that means he could take it here or here. If my pilgrim had been in this region, then one of these figures could still move into this one, and this one actually has more gems than the region down here. Locking this region also prevents Luke from being able to move his figure into here where I have all of my structures in case I wanted to use those. Hopefully this will turn out to be the wise thing for me to do.
I don't know if I'd call it wise, maybe desperate?
Yeah, or desperate. Oh, and we can't forget, I've started battles in these regions, so I will place these battle tokens into them. Luke, what dastardly deed are you doing for your first action?
Construction!
And it's going to be an airfield, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Where would you like to place it?
I'm going to put it here.
I love how you're constructing amongst the trog nests.
Oh yeah, we are buddies.
I guess you are.
And then I'm going to activate it and put a control token in there.
Basically, they've surrendered up their land to you.
Yep, I'm their king.
The king of the trogs.
Yep.
Luke's able to do this because these are not occupied locations. Again, remember, only figures occupy locations. All right, now we can move on to action round number 2. Luke's last action I really wasn't anticipating, and it's not going to change what Mercification wants me to do, which is to recruit. But where I send these recruits now is going to be a little different than where I might have before. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, Luke.
My pleasure. I'm going to do some more construction and activate the airfield again and place a control token in here, kicking yours out.
This is what I was afraid of. The airfield allows Luke to take control of an adjacent unoccupied region. I did have control here, but it was unoccupied. His air forces swooped in. This is my penalty for leaving the area undefended. And I could see this threat because of the airfield he built here. And that's why I'm thinking these guys are now going to have to go to locations like this one that I wasn't planning on going to, just so I can hang on to what is rightfully mine.
I'm not done yet. I'm going to use my skill called Occupation. This lets me discard a card from my hand to immediately score 1 point for every human-controlled region.
And Luke is controlling a bunch of regions now. What are you throwing out?
Okay, I'm going to throw out Air Cavalry.
Okay.
And I'm going to be scoring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
7
Woo!
points. That should move you down to 40. Look, we're neck and neck, side by side. Knowing Luke still has the option to move one of his figures from this region somewhere, like say down into here, controlling this region that has 5 crystals. And because I want this region back, I'm going to have to deploy more hobos.
Yes.
And then move with my 2 movement, 1 pilgrim into this region and 1 into this region. Again, just as defense here, because this is my final action. If he does move in here as his final action, there'll be nothing I can do to take it back. Because this is technically unoccupied, I can now take over it with my control token. If Luke hadn't placed this airfield, I had actually been considering moving one of my recruits all the way over to the Dark Wall region here, so then I could take away these 3 crystals from him. I can't afford to do that now, though. Luke, it's your turn.
I want to draw 2 new cards.
And from where?
From the mountains.
Okay, so the mountains here. This deck is getting very low. Here's 2 of them, Luke. Luke will look these over, pick one to keep, and the other we'll put back into this deck. And we don't really have to shuffle these up because no more cards will be drawn from here. Our actions are over, and it's time to resolve battles. Well, first thing we do is we make this region even more valuable to Luke by adding another crystal. And then I have to place my 2 figures. With only 2 units, there's not a lot I can do here. Mainly, I just want to get points if possible. I know I won't be able to get region control. I could try to take prisoners, but he can just place 3 of his figures there and then match me and still have 2 left over to attrition and kill them. So I'm thinking I'll just try to get at least 1 more point by putting both of these into attrition. And I say 1 more because I expect him to prisonerify one of my pilgrims.
I'll be putting 3 on attrition.
Yes?
And 2 on prisonerifying.
Right, because you're the defender, you don't have to worry about majority because you already have it. As the attacker, I get to play cards first, and I only have 1. Luke, how many do you have?
4.
Okay. I am going to play this regroup. It will allow me to move 1 recruit from each region adjacent to the current battle and then place it on one of the objectives. Now, I could try to go for majority, but I believe amongst the 4 cards that Luke has in his hands, he must have a way of getting majority back. So the best way for me to make points, I think, is to actually put it onto attrition. Luke, are you going to play any cards?
Nope.
Would I have won majority if I went here?
You'll never know.
Oh, you're so cruel. And I have to say, as your father, I'm quite proud. Okay, so let's resolve this from top to bottom. Luke, you retain majority, which is here, and you'll get 2 points. You can't see it, but I've just adjusted his score track. Luke will take a prisoner, so I'll give you, Luke, this pilgrim. And then for attrition, I'll kill 2 of Luke's units. He'll kill 2 of mine. And off screen here, I've scored us accordingly, and then these recruits will retreat back to their location. I shouldn't really say retreat. They won the fight. They're just going home. The first thing we have to do in this battle region is add another crystal to Luke's future crystal supply.
Why, thank you.
You're not welcome. And now I have to assign my pilgrims, and there's not really any way that I can get any more points than by putting all of them on attrition, especially since Luke already has this battery token he can place here for 2 attrition himself. He's free to pretty much go anywhere else he wants. So Luke, how do you want to divide up your gang of thugs here?
Well, I'm going to take every single soldier I have,
Yes.
put them all on prisoner vying.
Okay. And Luke's confident because I have no cards I can play, so resolving this in order. Oh, Luke, do you want to play any cards?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Then Luke will win majority, gaining 2 points. He will prisonerify and take one of these. Then I'll get 2 attrition, and he'll get 2 attrition. So I'll take 2 points, and Luke will gain 2 points as well. I can then retreat, and I'll go into this region. And Luke, you return home into this location.
No, Dad, I killed those guys. They're dead.
Oh my goodness. Wishful thinking on my part. I just gave you the points and tried to keep the pilgrims.
Dad.
You do good to put up with me, Luke. Well, it's all over except the crying. Next, we have to score prisoners. I have 1 prisoner.
I have 2.
So I'll gain 1 point. Luke, you will gain 2 points wrapping around, and you get to place your 50-point token there. Now, because final scoring was enabled, we'll score the final points we'll be able to collect, which are simply the crystals on the regions that we control. Let's quickly do the calculations here, Luke.
I already know how many I have. 23.
23 points, Luke?
Yep, I lapped you.
Now just hold on a second. I still get some points this turn. I get 12 points. So you didn't lap me, Luke, but very, very close. Well, no question, Luke was the victor in this game. Congratulations, Luke. Well played.
You were a good sport.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
You know, you hung in there when the times got rough.
Sure did. You know what? Maybe Portal can release an expansion. The White Flag Rodney expansion.
Exactly.
I could just
that should be a promo card.
It could be a promo card. The White Flag of Retreat. Oh dear. No, I've learned a lot here about how to play the Pilgrims better next time. And I hope you guys picked up a few tips as well along the way. Because, Luke, it won't always be this easy. The next time we play this, I have some new tricks that I'm going to employ. And I think...
Oh, yeah.
I think I can...
Bring it.
I'll try to bring it. And I'll certainly report on Twitter if I do succeed in beating Luke eventually. But until the next episode, everyone, thanks for watching.